I also play Reaper cast, and so my codes today, I'm gonna give you one Soj game, and I'm gonna give you one Cassidy slash Soldier game.
Right.
The reason why I played Cass and Soldier is because they banned Soj. So
Fair enough. Yeah,
how
yeah.
do I give you this code, by the
Oh
way?
yeah.
Sorry,
So
I haven't done
if you
that
go
recently.
to where was it? Your career profile,
Okay,
and then history
history,
at the
right?
top,
Okay.
and then replays on the left side,
Yep.
and then you can scroll down and then look at the respective games,
Oh, share,
and then
share.
share.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay, that's the first one. This is a
Ooh,
Esperanza push game, and I played Soj for the entirety of it.
good, good. All right, we'll see here. So I guess what is it about this game specifically that you wanted to, I guess, cover or go over, or why this game
So I
basically?
think the okay, yeah, because this game it was really close. I mean, like I thought I was gonna win 100%, but yeah, I feel like I didn't play as well as I could. So I think starting from last week, I started to focus less on my mechanics in game and more on my kind of like game sense in general. Like I would focus on gathering information of where my team is versus or like where the enemy team is, where my team is,
Right.
so I wouldn't overextend. I would also kind of focus on like it sounds really simple, but like in the moment you would forget, right? In the heat of the moment, like simple things like when they have one down, just take the advantage and push up, or like when we die, like when one of us dies, just push back. In the heat of the moment, right? As a DPS player, especially for me, I get so excited about getting a kill, so I sometimes forget to do that, like
Yeah,
to push
yeah.
forward because I play passive. You'll see sometimes I have a more passive play style because I don't like dying. I don't like letting my team down. But on the other hand, I have to realize that I have to be a playmaker in order to win.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, that's the stuff I kind of like worked on in my head. I do talk to myself sometimes, but yeah, honestly, in this game, I think my hit rails, but I just don't know that. And this is why kind of I wanted to have this
Right.
today, just because I want to pinpoint what's going on because I know it's my game says honestly my mechanics aren't perfect, but I think it's kind of like my positioning and how I kind of move throughout fights. So yeah, we'll just
Right.
see. And
I see. There's a few things to that. I guess the first thing, I often draw this graph. We'll use this wall to sort of draw it out. But that thing you mentioned about like the difference or the gap between playing aggressive and playing passive, I draw it out like this sometimes because players often have or bounce between two ends of this end of the spectrum. So on one end, there's like I call it AFKing or like doing nothing. So this is like the passive end of the spectrum, and on the other end is kind of the opposite. It's like inting or like feeding or like playing hyper
right,
aggressive, right? And this often happens, or this bounce often happens, like when you actually are in a 5v4, or when you have some kind of advantage that you want to push. Like, and you mentioned being excited after getting a kill. We'll mention that how to fix that a little bit in a moment. But what players often do is they bounce between two ends of the spectrum all the time. So maybe one fight you play, you int, and then the next fight you realize, oh shit, I inted, I'm gonna play really passive now, vice versa. The
right,
mental thing is that, of course, there's a happy medium in between. I call it pushing slowly, or some people might call it stabilize. Some people might call it pushing in a low risk way. But the point being is that when you're actually in a 5v4, if the enemy team that's down a character actually want to play really fast, if they can, and look for a trade. Whereas you can lose 5v4s very easily. Because over a long period of time, you will just win the war of attrition because you're a man up, generally speaking. So of course, if you're in a 5v4, push your advantage, obviously, right? But it needs to be done in a
yeah,
way that's disciplined, low risk, in a way that can't get you traded out by someone like a Deep, for example, who can blow you up instantly, or an Ash headshot, or whatever the case may be. The second thing,
right,
linking onto that, is the excitedness bit about getting a kill, because you are going to get kills this game, and this happens so often with Tracer players and Sojourn players, burst damage characters. I often say, in the mid, and Genjis as well, you need to regain awareness in the mid fight, which honestly just means looking around, to reassess your situation and there'll be certain visual cues that will tell you in the game when to look around. And getting a kill is one of those visual cues. And there's other ones that we'll get onto that we can talk about later. But the kill is the main one. So I often say to Tracer players, after you kill someone in Tracer, look around. Actually assess your situation. Don't blink in and waste a recall. On Sojourn, look around, right? I'll be looking at the D.Va mainly, right? If maybe you get a kill onto the Ashe, look around. How close is D.Va to you? Has she still got boosters? Can she mark you? Are you in a killable position? Things like that are really important to think about and assess after you get a kill. So we'll see your deaths. I was actually looking at your deaths a little bit just now, because they're going to be important. But we'll see how this game pans out, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. Alright. Get up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, obviously first fight you don't exactly know their comp, so I'll be a little bit more lenient first fight, but we'll see. Bombing up rail, fine. Distance is fine. Sure, your Sega swinging. Even no boosters, you can walk up a little bit more. Okay. DS is okay. So, I'm not going to say this as a full-out missed opportunity here, because this is going to be a slow first fight regardless, just by nature of how push works. If you're in Colosseo, it's going to be the exact same thing, and then map geometry. But the first thing I'll be looking at is the D.Va boosters, right? Like, the fact that she's already used boosters, your Sig's holding a good amount of space here too, and your Briggs here as well, tell you that, you know what, you can probably swing a little bit wider to try and find some kind of angle. It's nothing crazy. I'm not going to say you're going to get a kill off of it, right? But I'm saying that's a cue to push more aggressively.
Okay.
So I think we're playing a little touch too passive. Okay. The swinging is fine. Kind of flipping the map right now. Sure. Fine. What makes you...
Yeah, that was a lazy rail.
Yeah, not only was it a lazy rail, right? I think what you do is actually reasonable. You push the left side with your Sigma, you farm up the rail charge, you play cover decently well, you don't have to actually use your slide here, and your Brig's still with you. You just get booped by Lucio, right? And it's like, why not just re-push the angle? And I'm not saying to commit slide or anything, I'm just saying peek here, right? Because you got a fully charged rail, your Brig's with you, D.Va's on the opposite side of the map, right? Why wouldn't you push left side? So I guess my question is, why not go left or keep pushing left?
I guess it's because like when I got booped, right? I hear like I would say 3/5 of the team on right side, and that's where the point is. And I don't want to lose that pressure because I know my other DPS is low. So the pressure within that point is low, and so I want to keep that pressure up. So I don't want them to continue pushing.
Right, right. I get this a lot with players sometimes, where it's like it's actually mostly with flex supports, to be honest, where they're like, oh, if I take an angle, or if I go, L1 players especially, if I take an angle, or if I look to go for a nade, I'll lose healing on the front line, and my front line will cripple over and die. I guess the point here is that your front line is already crippling over and dying, because your echo's already low. So you going here isn't going to change the fact that your echo's going to be low, nor is it going to give you an opportunity to split pressure somewhere else, right? If you're thinking about, oh, the point is, I don't know about the point, right? Or I'm going to lose pressure on point, well, I don't mind you losing a few meters, or getting this to 20 meters or whatever, as long as you can connect the rail and draw pressure over to this side, right? Maybe you hit a rail onto this Lucio, or onto the Lucio, or onto the Castu somewhere here, and the D.Va's like, oh shit, I gotta actually like consider looking at my backline. Maybe I need to give up some space. Maybe I can't hold as aggressively here as I actually want to. Secondly, you're running double poke. And this is also important, this is more of a macro thing generally. And you're running Sigma too. So you're not going to touch point anyways based on your comp, because your comp isn't built for that. Right? You haven't got Tracer, you haven't got D.Va, you haven't got Haz, you haven't got Amalga, even any tank that cannot point. Like, you're fine giving them some point cap because they're running D.Va, and you're not running Tracer or a mobile character. So you should be fine doing this, playing these long sight lines here, because that's your comp. So don't worry about point too much, for those two reasons. The fact that you can draw pressure away anyways, and your comp's not built for playing point. But yeah. And yeah, the rail's obviously a bit lazy here.
Yeah. I think it's because I hit some stairs and it kind of messed me up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
Because I knew when my shot was aligned, I just hit something on the map. I was like, oh, fuck.
I think the fact that the D.Va stacked as well, and it's like you have to interweave it with DM is tough as well. But yeah.
But I am confident with my rails and Ashe though. Ash's hitbox, like hitbox, is really big,
It's
and most
huge,
of the
yeah.
time I
You
can
would
hit on
you
it.
would have
So
hit that headshot without the diva there. But yeah.
yeah.
Okay, no boosters. Your team swinging. Okay. Sure. Again, lazy rail here. I know again the rock comes down on the diva here too, and the diva's low, right? But again, your character or your comp more generally, right? I guess how do I describe it? Unless you've already got a fully charged rail into diva and you can hard front to back diva and brawl her out, there's no reason to rail diva here. Again, it's a little bit too late, unfortunately. Thankfully, again, your comp's good at generally front to backing diva because of spam, so you win the front to back anyways. You shot for nade, good. You guys can kill diva on point, surely. Okay, good. Fade out echo, but it should be okay. Swing the sig, fine. Normal, good rail. Fine. I don't mind not getting the kill there. You want to dice with a cast flanking behind. Okay. Okay. Sure. Fine. So yeah, your team do it. Actually, your team play that fairly well, right? Now there's a cast flanking behind. There's not really much you can do about that on your end. You pushed the advantage onto the Ashe with your sig. That was fine. You can't really mark a looser cast on your own, and because they're running a faster comp, they can run rings around you. So that's fine. I'm not gonna complain about that too much. I think again it's good that you don't int in or you don't int onto the Ashe after you get a low. That's fine. I was thinking maybe one rotation you can make. See if it's reasonable to make that rotation after you get the rail to the Ashe. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't have minded if you slid up to here, or you scouted here initially and then someone to start up to high grounds, because no one can really reach you. Ashe is low, she can't reach you, Honor can't reach you because mobility reasons. Cass can't reach you, only Lucy can really reach you, and that's even scary for him. So maybe it's reasonable
Like,
to go
slide
up
up to the high ground?
Yeah, like over here, to keep pushing your advantage, basically. It's the only other
Can
thing
I
that you
get
could
up
have
there?
maybe done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still fine with you not doing that because your honor dies here, so that's reasonable to not do it. But yeah. I think barring that, where's your DS go? Oh, DS corner's fine.
Wait.
Mark out the
Sugar
caster.
shot. Oh, okay.
I mean, this is also just micro because again, it's a messy fight back into being traded. You make the right rotation to go back. Fine. Sure, that was fine. Sure. The Diva's back. Okay. Sure, slide's fine. 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 Sure. Not a huge fan of that rail. I know Diva gets rocked here. But again, you know backline's playing left side anyways.
Right, yeah.
And I've said this to hit scans before. You wouldn't be playing positions such that you're baiting Diva or that you want Diva to push you. This is a good example of it. Like, Diva is going to get punished if she flies onto you. She's being way too greedy with what she's given right now. So I think your positioning's fine. It's just that you need to anticipate that she's going to get punished by doing this, and you haven't got to waste a rail onto her. Again, after she gets rocked, maybe that's fine, right? But again, maybe you can take an angle here that's a bit deeper and look for a collateral or go for the honor instead or something like that. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Wouldn't have minded if you went to high gun here, to be honest. Like, or over here.
I was actually gonna go to high ground right after that.
Yeah,
I
after
just
that
wanted
rail.
to,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to build rail, yeah, because the thing with me is like I always build rail and look for backline unless like they're literally right in front of me and like 3 of my guys are looking at the tank and I'm like, okay, I could have the chance to burn down this tank and actually build so much momentum and just push through the fight. So that's usually my playstyle with Soj.
Yeah.
So.
That's fine. You were doing that in literally like 10 seconds ago, like with your Sigma anyways, and burnt the Ashe anyway, so like that's fine to do. It's nothing insane, but again, the only reason why I'd say that is you put the Diva between a rock and a hard place. Again, she has to make a choice. Do I stand cart? Yeah. Do I hold this corner? Do I go high? Or do I leave and give space, you know? And whenever Diva's in that pickle, it's really hard. There's no good option for Diva, basically, by going high grounds. Okay. You win that fight, you get to high anyways. Sure. Here for honor, fine. Ooh, I would not drop here. What's scary about dropping here?
I mean, there's right side top. I think I literally heard Ashe right side top.
Yeah, that's the scary thing.
Literally the room right there. It's greedy, yeah.
It's greedy. And I think I wouldn't. if Ana can be this far away, she's gonna get a moderate value. Like, in other words, she can still heal her team, but she's not gonna be getting big nades or getting any huge amounts of value anyways by staying on this really far back position. That's fine.
Yeah.
You can just play slow and play cart. That's literally it. Like, that's nothing. Don't overcomplicate it, is what I'm saying. We'll get overtly greedy for it. Unlucky that your Echo
It was
dies.
just so juicy. She's just like standing still.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
If you were fully
charged,
charged,
if I build it up.
if you're fully charged, then maybe it's worth doing it. But yeah, not ideal. You see, you get like one body. If you took a body shot by Ashe at any moment in time, there, you die, and you're 85 HP. You know, not ideal. Okay, I mean, you're gonna have to give it space. You're down one. No one's playing high ground, so you're gonna have to give space. I wouldn't go here though. Whoa. So, right now, I would back up to this location and planning to play this sort of spacer because again, you're down one. This is again too greedy for what you're given. Now, you're isolated. And then, if I'm D.Va right now and I see this, I'm like, okay, I want to get the fuck off this Sigma and Brig and I want to push a Sojourn, who's an Ana, mind you, who's completely isolated and who's completely split. So again, this isn't a location I particularly want to be playing right now. A D.Va flies to you. Fine. Big nade by your Ana. Good rail. It's somehow you guys bait that with Valley, which is nice. And Nano. Okay. Fine. You can brawl with your Brig. Sure, get out, get away from here, fine. Go top! Go top, I'm begging to go top. Like, second you get slide back, I want you to go top immediately.
Okay.
Like, I know D.Va's here, and like, D.Va can fly to you, but you can drop down, go for your backline, your Brig's still here, and can back you. Again, bait the D.Va to fly to you. I wouldn't go over this edge and try and, like, you know, go too, or like, tease the D.Va too much, because you can die. But like, I would still go top here and find a different angle. Make it hard for D.Va.
Build rail, just look. Oh, that Ana too.
Yeah, the Ana's there, right? And you don't know that she's there because your angle's terrible. Or it's down main. It's limited, right? So as soon as you get slide back. Go on.
I think the reason why I stuck here a little bit too long was not only to build just a little bit of rail, but also like I didn't want to lose that pressure we had on that. I know it sounds stupid because I should always take off angles as TPS. I mean, I played this game a good while to know that, right?
Right.
But it's just like I don't want to say this, but sometimes when I take off angles, I miss, and then my team falls over on main because I didn't help. And
yeah.
Like, I know it's a risk that everybody. It's like, you know, this is a game at the minute. There's not 100% certainty that you will win a off angle or you will make an off angle a successful angle. But it's just like it just messes with my mind. I'm like, oh, I could have been here and helped my team out instead of like go to this off angle because there's a couple games where it was just a game just like this. It was on Route 66. Well, it's conflict, but I chose to go high ground, and it was I chose the long route. So you know how in first point you have that like house.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I was playing Sojourn, right? I was low ground. I didn't want to use my slide, and bear in mind the enemy team was about to round the corner. I didn't want to use my slide, so I went the long way around and took the stairs. And we lost that fight because I wasn't present. And I took that route because I wanted to go up to high ground and keep my slide.
Right.
And so we lost that fight because I wasn't there, because I wanted a better angle. That's why I think in this situation I was like, okay, I can't go up just yet because I need to build rail, but I also want to put pressure on the enemy team. So
right,
how do I juggle that problem? Do you see what I'm saying?
So I think there's like a few things. So I guess time, the time of when you take it is really important because if you do it, it sounds in that example, you're too late to the fight or you're too late to the party. Things have already happened while you're taking that angle and route and while you're trying to look for a better angle. The team just falls over and they take a 5v4. Like, that's what's gonna happen sometimes. Secondly, I think LOS is also really important too. So, what's a good example of this? So like back in World Cup, Sojourn was played by, what's their name, Saudi Arabia, and they ran Sojourn with like a 3-2 split with Sojourn with like Sig, BAP, and Sim or whatever, or some other flex DPS. And the important thing with the Sojourn split was that they can't go too far or too split from their main core, because if they do, then the enemy team will just take a 5v3 and bomb rush these guys. So that was the balance that the Sojourn had to take. And what often happens is that on retakes, these guys would have to, they would still off angle, right? But they will need to be, they will need to have the same LOS to their 3-man call, so that if they did get bomb rushed, you can still get a value, while because you can see your team getting bomb rushed, and you can still see the enemy team. So a good example of this could be
They have the same line of sight
exactly,
as
right?
those three.
So
Okay.
I could first point in Blizzard World, for example. There's like a left angle here. There's like top down. There's a right angle here. And there's a bit of high ground.
Are we looking at the defender's point of view? Or
Attacking.
okay, attacking.
There's a bit of high ground here, like the little carts moving around. The right side angle and the left side angle. You can have your Sojourn play here, and your Sig, your Bap, whatever, play here. And this is still an off angle, but if your Sig Bap get rushed by the enemy team, you can still contribute because you can see your Sig Bap getting rushed, right? In fact, I had another similar example, actually in my pharmacy video from Crazy Raccoons, where like it's really important that the pharmacy can see their Honor and Ash, or see their backline. So if their Honor and Ash do get rushed, the pharmacy can intervene and do something about that. And I think that's a similar thing for you here, potentially. Or in that root example, it's like, you can still see your team if they do get rushed. So you're intervening, and you can actually get value while they rush your team, or while they take a 5v4, whatever the case may be. In this example, I think this is less applicable, because I don't think they're built to rush. I don't know why they would want to rush a Brig, Honor, and you've got HP, and your 6 full HP too. I don't think there's triggers for the enemy team to rush your backline right now. And besides, I think a really important idea here as well is taking like these hidden angles. In other words, there's no way in hell that the enemy team can identify or tell that you're gonna go over here. It's impossible. There's no way they can know that information, because this is hidden,
right?
Right? Which makes it scary. So that's also a part of it too. Is that like, again, you can still, let's say you're playing here, right? You can still get value. Let's say your Honor gets rushed here, right? I don't know why they do it, or your Brig, right? You can still get value on this angle, and it's hidden because again, this building or this geometry hides it, and you get a better angle here too. Right? You can have your cake and eat it too, basically, because it doesn't take you long. It's hidden, and you can still see your backline. It's kind of the big thing. And again, as you kind of mentioned, right? This person is just going to die. If you were here, you know.
Yeah.
So again, it's a missed opportunity, but I think those three things, the timing of it, having LOS to the rest of your core while you're flanking is really important. And the hiding factor of it too, right? Can I hide my hitbox to where I'm scary? I'm the scariest person in the lobby, right? D.Va has no idea you're gonna come up here. But yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a maybe. I think I can see you like thinking about it too, almost. Like I can see your body language is like indicative of like, oh, do I want to go high gun or not? Like, gonna like flick over here while you're reloading, and it's like, yeah, it's unfortunate. There we do it. Okay, good. Better late than never. Nice, right? And obviously there wasn't the Honor there, right? But that was a pivotal kill. Like this guy had beat, you know. That's a fight-winning kill.
Yeah.
Obviously could have been done, you know, maybe it's arguably it's too little too late considering your Echo's dead here. But the good thing is that you did actually do it.
But I used my slide though, that's not good.
I had to use a slide as well, which is not ideal, admittedly, to be fair. The Brick Honor should help you in time. Just about. We are front to backing a little bit too much here, I'm not gonna lie. I would just back up here a little bit, or look back at your backline.
Okay.
It's just micro to make sure D.Va can't do as much damage to you. But yeah. In team play, if you were making that kind of angle play, you would call it. You'd be like, hey, Brick, pack me left side, or something like that. So this doesn't happen to you, or you don't die on this angle. Okay, but it should be your main sports responsibility to know what you're playing.
To be fair, I didn't know the cast was right there. Like
Yeah. I think the only thing is that you had to use slide to get here, and it was a little bit too late. Or too little, too late rather. But yeah, in terms of the actual angle itself, that was fine. You know, you killed someone that was really pivotal there. If that rail didn't hit the Lucio, he's gonna stay alive most likely and have beat.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do want to Zork this fight top down. I'm not gonna lie, because your Echo just died to air somehow.
Yeah, my Echo's always dying. I don't know why.
Okay, your Echo's just... Where? Oh, but left side, yeah. So your Echo makes almost the exact same mistake as you. I don't know why your Echo's down main for some reason. Like your Echo should be flying above here over this building,
Yeah,
looking for some
especially
kind of
as
angle,
Echo,
you
I
know?
feel like he's
Yeah. So kind of weird. But yeah, good angle. D is supposed to fly to you, and the idea being is that if D flies to you, your Echo's still alive, so your Echo should be free as a result. Of the D flying to you is the idea. But yeah. Okay. We'll see next fights. Okay. Maybe it's winnable? I mean, you do get cap, to be fair. Okay, I like this angle.
Slow game so far.
Yeah, very slow game. I do like this angle a lot. Nice. Go, just chill, just chill.
Hitting rails on Lucio it's so hard. I don't know why
it's not fun.
Really difficult.
Yeah, stealing bots. Ooh, that's not great.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous. But I mean, it's because we're running a Pokemon.
Yeah. There's no Tracer, no Diva. Yeah, it's hard. Okay. And you get shot by Ana there. Only thing I could say maybe is that once you realize that hey they're taking bot, you can like right over.
Go right side.
Yeah, like around about.
Yeah.
Like here, I go right side, or like just looking at your backline essentially. I wouldn't say slide to cart, it's too dangerous. But yeah. Go around about here. Like now, I'd probably go high grounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really unfortunate because you're running a super slow comp. Maybe that's a bit too risky as well because you're ahead of your team, but
yeah. I think I just wanted to. Yeah, no, I mean I wouldn't have killed him anyway.
yeah.
I was thinking.
Okay. Most awkward push moment ever. All right. You get bot back.
This push game gets interesting though. It gets more interesting as
Yeah.
it goes on.
Okay, thankfully they're on Winston now, so you shouldn't get marked out as heavily. Okay. Angle's fine. Good angle. I will double check what your backline's playing before you start taking an angle, because I don't want you to get isolated. Where's your brig? Your brig is in spawn! Oh my days, yeah, you need to chill. I mean, if you're fine here, you're fine doing this is fine, but just be a little bit careful. And this poke is fine.
I think in this situation, I don't know if I didn't like that's what I'm saying. Like in the beginning of this call, like one of my goals is to gather information of where my team is because I feel like as a DPS player, you're so selfish, you know. Like you just care about like getting kills and getting limbs, but sometimes you just need to know where your team is, right?
Yeah, and like this kind of thing is important because you get nano forced out. I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna complain about Honest POV here or whatever, but like again, had you known if your brig was literally here stuck on top of you right now. Like, he's too far away still, you know? Like, he's trying their desperate best to try and reach you, but because you don't know that, you're playing a little bit too aggro. If you want to play in this room, I'd even suggest playing over here, or like playing further away. The reason why is you can bait the Lucio to come and reach you. There's no way this guy's gonna deadass walk right over here, walk straight at you in a straight line to walk at you. Like, this is too dangerous for his character. Whereas this is close range. You can boop him into the corner, you can get value immediately. So if you want to stay here, I would bait and play really far, or don't walk in the room. Just like stay here, you know, and chill. But yeah, that's a really awkward nano boost, obviously.
I don't think.
Oh my word, that nano boost. Well, the OC rather. Interesting. I think you could kill the Winston without OC here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not. I mean, good rails, obviously. Have we got slide? Surely we can avoid this. Slide in one. Yeah, we can avoid that.
Yeah, I think I live.
Yeah. We should live that, but... Oh, yeah.
No,
So there's a lot of every single character that I coach, there's always micro into Ana sleep. So like on Has, for example, like it's walling your feet to avoid, so the Ana sleeps the wall and not you. On Soj, I mean, right now obviously you're not going to be dueling Ana every single time when you're playing Soj. But like, you should know when she has sleep dart, and you should know, you literally have a movement ability to avoid it. So like, and she's more scared of you than you are of her. So like, I'd even bait the rail. I'd even like, actually, when I say bait the rail, I mean keep the rail and focus on avoiding the sleep dart, and then you can always hit the rail afterwards because you've got OC on. So like, there's no reason to panic this essentially or rush it.
And again, I'll be honest, I just didn't know she was there. I didn't.
Oh, you just fair enough. You got jump scared maybe. But But yeah.
I mean, maybe I could have seen like if I click tab, like who's alive and who's dead, but I just didn't know she was right there. Like,
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like a game sense thing of like it should be reasonable to know that she's probably playing high ground because your team are retaking. Like, of course, backline's gonna be playing here while the Winston holds this corner. That's a very normal, usual retake or defensive hold for the enemy team to have while you're retaking.
okay.
It links back into
So kind of guessing where they are, kind of thing.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
It's not even guessing. It's like because you're already here, you know, like you're already poking here, anyways. Like you should roughly know, like in the beginning of the fight, you should roughly know that Soldier on a backline Ash as well are probably gonna play on this backup because where else are they gonna play? You know, so like I think it's a reasonable thing to guess. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
it
like.
just took me by surprise how close she was, though. It's just like.
There's also another thing too, which is like getting off corners. So like this is like a really important hit scan fundamental. Like if you're gonna swing this corner, get off of it. Like swing it. Like you do what you're doing right now. Get off the corner is what I mean. Like you should be swinging right now and have distance. The reason why is that it gives you reaction time. It gives you time to react in case someone comes over here, and it gives you distance, right? Maybe you want to slide back over here or let your stick take the brunt of the force, right? Getting off the corner is really important. In fact, I can link you a video that literally details getting off the corner. But yeah, it's a really important hit scan fundamental. But yeah. Okay. Alright, we'll see next fight. Okay. Going Kiri now. Fun. Alright, we'll see here. Okay. 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 Jumps in. Fine. Sure. Sure. I was just going high, but I don't mind you farming rail anyways. It's not a huge difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't want to go high is because I felt like the Winston was killable.
Yeah.
So mid.
That's fine. Sure. Okay.
Oh, I remember this.
And that's a really risky flip. Okay, so like, this is really like, when you're playing Brigana, you can't flip maps. If you're playing Nusa Kira, you can flip and like do like the really basically play the other side of the map is what I'm saying. But you're playing Brigana, you're gonna hold your ground a lot of the time. Your Brig's currently dead right now, so that's one thing. Second thing, Echo's on point, and third thing, again, you don't need to do anything here. You've got the better poke, right? Like you've got the better range. They have to come into your space, and you're playing high ground here as well. So I really think you can just chillax. Like, don't force a play. You can poke Sojourn from here, you know, and you'll be fine. I don't think it's again, it's too risky. That's kind of the point. I'm doing this play. I mean, obviously,
so know their team comp better. Right?
yeah. I think like,
yeah.
and also know where your team's at too. Like your Six playing really far right side. He can help you as well. Your Honest as well, right side as well. Like chill, just take a chill pill. You know, that's all I'd say.
Yeah.
There's no reason to go for this really risky play. Of course, there's better micro you could do here, like hit the rail. If you hit the rail, arguably you get the kill here, whatnot, right? But again, their crew could have better micro as well. But yeah, I think staying high ground there probably would have been the more appropriate thing to do. Okay. Okay, slide back, sure. I think a Brigger's back eventually, but you can see how tough this is. Like you're between a rock and hard place essentially. Yeah, yeah. I want to put the camera here and picture if you're still on high grounds. Okay. Yeah, like now we're here. So we're still on heights. Like, do you see how hard it would be for them to retake into this? Because there's no way Soldier can like retake this and push this safely. Neither can their Soldier. Maybe their loser can. But like, this is risky for their team because you've got the better sightline. Like, you can see everything and mark anyone at any time, and you kind of give that up to get a greedy kill. So yeah, kind of risky there. And maybe you can punish Soldier there.
So kind of just, yeah,
and of course
knowing
you avoid
your
Winston.
Team comp better.
Yeah, yeah. The Brig probably doesn't drop there either. Yeah, it's not even team comp necessarily, actually. I mean, partially it is, right? But also, it's just the map geometry and actually holding the space, right? Over that comp as well. I haven't talked about comps that much, but one thing you can, again, it's really important for your character generally to do in this comp, especially considering you're running Pokia, a Pokia comp that's less mobile, is denying their angles. Or preventing them from getting good dive angles on top of you to begin with. but you're kind of making yourself an easy dive target for their Winston if you're playing this close in open space with no cover. Whereas if you're here with a Brig, it's much harder for them to set up their angles onto you. Because you can see everything, you've got better distance, you've got better cover. Yeah. Not amazing. Okay. Maybe we could have got that Surge kill when she was 1 as well. Okay. We'll see here. Okay. You do live here for quite a decent amount of time. Okay. Alright. And Lucio is doing Lucio things. Sure. Fine. You do wait to push advantage. Fine. Okay, sure. I've got one thing, right? Is there Lucio doing much?
I just know he's forced out. He's low, and he's not willing to push up and take cart, and that's why I slid.
Yeah. Now, I think there's nuance that's important here. You can't push up. Why can't you push up yet? Why is it risky to push up?
Why me?
Yeah,
Or
why
Lucio?
you?
Like, why is it risky to slide up to my Sigma?
Yeah, why is that risky to do?
Lucio could probably take point.
Yeah, that's a scary thing, right? Now of course your Brig Honor is here as well, so maybe they can like stand here and like hold cart for you or whatever. I think it's kind of, again, what you do is okay, as in looking at the Lucio, but I feel like by 3 of you turning for this guy, you're giving him value that he wants. At the same time too. So I think here I would actually start or play try and get to high ground when you can. Your Brig can stay cart, and you can stay with your Honor. Play these long sight lines. Your front line can force CDs, which is what they're doing right now. They're kind of baiting them to use CDs and keeping the pressure on. And again, you can clear Lucio, you can push cart, make it hard for him to touch, and you kind of get best of both worlds. In other words, he can't steal cart because you're here, and you're safe because you can't be dove from this far away from the enemy team. So you should be fine in both situations. So we'll see what happens in this fight.
I think the reason why I slid in is because I heard Sigil and I wanted to follow up with his own.
Yeah, I would just be very careful of doing so because again, you're running in a mobile comp and you're using your. If you had double slide, I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's like I'm scared for you that you might get traded out here. Okay, I want to get traded. You do get one. Fine. Yana dying there is scary. Sure, you can get that kill, nice. Reaper now, interesting. Look at your, this is fine to do, but again, I'd just be a bit scared because I want to have distance and make it hard for them to reach us. That's kind of the important point. Fine. Where is your Honor? He should be coming back behind you, yeah. Oh, okay, we'll see here. Okay, sure. I just think the staging's terrible. Like, when I say their staging's terrible, I mean, no one's coming left side here, right? If I go back and zoom out, right? I would be expecting a Reaper to come behind here and pincer you from behind, and they beat dive you, right? And what can you do about that? Well, nothing, because you can't prevent Reaper. So ideally, knowing that your Honor's dead too, where can you play?
Probably back high where she was.
Yeah, this back high ground is probably ideal. Because, again, your Honor's dead, right? And you should be scared of this flanker to the left side too, right? Now, I've got a framework. I'll link this idea into the rest of this fight here. But I've got this framework when I coach ranged characters into dive, which is SPAR, which stands for Scout, Prevent, Absorb, and Rotate. Honestly, Prevent has become Disrupt more. I've changed it to Disrupt. I'll describe what that means in a moment. We can forget Scout as well because it's not really your job. But basically, Prevention is stopping a Reaper or stopping their flankers or their frontliners, so this guy and this guy, from getting good angles around you. So this would be an example of that. Is like, how is us playing here conducive to stopping them from setting up their dive? And the answer to that question is not really. Right now, there are some cases that we can talk about in a moment. But right now, that's not really the case. Whereas if we're here, we're here, we can see him stop Reaper from popping around us, right? Or highlighter. We can see him and stop him from popping around us. Same thing if they were running Tracer, Genji, whatever the case. Now, there is one case But it's actually fine if you want to stack here with your team and push your angle early. Can you think of a situation where you might want to be here instead of here?
I guess when they're running a poke comp, or like so that like when I know they're not.
Yeah, right. So that could be
Building?
one example. What about more specifically against that comp?
Uh, okay, so against this comp, where would I play on the closer pinky
Yeah.
to
So
slow
against this comp, where would it be fine to actually play here instead?
I guess when they're one down, I guess like they know
Okay,
like.
that's a decent trigger. What else? What about ults? What about
Okay, yeah, I guess when they don't have like ults, I guess like when they
sure?
don't
What
have rush
about
or beat, right?
yeah? Maybe when they're down ult. I mean, I wouldn't expect you to ult track, but in team play, that's something that I would care about too. So they're down ults. I'll say like down ults. But actually, I'm also looking for your own ults, i.e. OC, right? And the important thing that I'm looking for here is that as a team, you guys can stuff their angles. When I mean stuff, I mean play really aggressively, really early to deny them to deny them space. You can actually OC, or maybe you're six pushing up here. Your Honor's still alive, obviously, in this example. Maybe your Break Honor's playing here. Maybe you're playing here as well, or playing here, or somewhere closer, like here, for example. Your Brig Honor can still see you. You pop overclock, and you just hard punish that Winston really early, and you make it really difficult for the enemy team to dive you because you're using your overclock to deny them staging or to deny them from getting around you to begin with. Now that could look like as well. Of course, this Reaper's already high ground right now. This could also look like right now. Like maybe you're already here with your Brig and you're running a Brig Sojourn here. You OC this, and you get a really good OC. Your Sig pushes up cart, and you play really aggressively, really early on, and they're not able to get a touch, and you deny them this entire space. Is the point? So I want to bring this up hypothetically because there are cases where it's actually fine to play somewhat close or to play somewhat aggressively early on, and your ult is a trigger for that.
As long as you know I've you like the firepower.
Exactly, right?
Like, so
Now,
overclock. Okay.
and conversely, the opposite is true. If you're building ults and you're close to overclock, do the opposite. Play slow, play distance, right? You want to have this overclock for the mid fight. It's the important factor. So it goes both ways. But something not worth noting here. I think again in this situation, I don't want you playing here. Even though you might live and you do get a kill, I'm shocked that no one flanks around here and pinces you. I'm very shocked.
Yeah.
And that's the scare.
Because typically people do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
if there was a Reaper here, I'm not sure you would live this, especially considering Honor's dead here too, right? But of course, if you were here, you probably do live that. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually curious to see it top down because what goes on? It just front to back you, which is really weird. They use overclock and beat, and they die, and you don't even you take barely any damage here. Which is really weird. You get nano boosted here, which is I guess nice from your Honor. Sure. Nice. Fine, you can clear that Lucio. Sure. Fine, but that was honestly a misplay by them than us doing anything crazy. I think one of us got traded, I believe. I think our Brig. Yeah, our Brig got traded, so you can't play as aggressively as you want to. Of course, now this would theoretically be a good time. Had your team lived the entire dive, you could actually OC this early, theoretically. Push up really early, because they are down one. Squirrel is
just take space and use ult.
Yeah, it's kind of the idea. High Noon, this would apply to High Noon as well on Cass.
Yeah, this is something I kind of want to work on too. Is like, like I know I need to take space, but I also know I'm one down. But I'm like, dang, I don't want to use my ult because my team's not here yet. But
yeah, I wouldn't use ult here.
Oh, okay.
Because your team are down is the reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, fine. That's
if all 5 of us were here.
You could definitely, you could literally OC that while your Sig is like pushing that corner right there, and then Winston's like just about coming out spawn. You could OC that for sure, or even a tiny bit earlier than that. Same thing with High Noon as well. Thankfully, you just force out Kitsune, so that's gonna get no value. Nice. Fine. OC's good. Nice. Alright, nice. That double slide's scary. Alright, what did you just see from your Brig? What's your Brig?
Rally.
Yes. Rallying, and where does she just go?
To the Lucio.
To the Lucio. She is the character that can save your ass if you're in dire needs. And remember when I put the graph of this, again, I can't rewind it because it's too far. But like, again, the passive versus
Yeah.
beating.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
That.
we're on that end now. We're in a 5v, not in a 5v4, we're in a 4v3 actually. Similar case, right? And we're very tradable right now. So I get the aggression, right? But again, we can do it in a disciplined way. Maybe instead of 2 slides, we can use 1. Maybe if we're using 2 slides, we can use our second slide to get to here instead, right? We're a little bit safer. So again, you can push your advantage, right? But doing it in ways that's a little bit safer, a little bit lower risk is the point. But yeah. Yeah, because we died there, you know? And it's like, that's very preventable. Very preventable. Death there.
Yeah, I just got greedy.
Yeah. Again, you mentioned that, again, getting excited, right? That's a prime textbook case of you getting excited there after you get kills.
And especially with ult, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's never when I don't have ult, because like when I don't have ult, I would say I play rather smarter, but like when I have ult, I'm like, oh my god, I'm like him, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I can kill him, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of times where I also like I slide into them, right? And I think I built up this habit when I was in plat. I'll be honest, like I would sometimes play quick play. There would be plat players, right? Like, and I can get away with it, right? I can get away with sliding in their face and just overclocking their face. But here it's like they can punish me because they're just better. They're not quick play, flat.
Do you?
Right? There's something wrong with that.
Yeah. I mean, this is from I say phenomenon, but like I was coaching a GM Tracer like a few months ago, and they had like this dilemma thing where like they would get 2 types of lobbies. They would get like these low GM lobbies, which for them were pretty easy, so they could just play off of instinct. They didn't have to think about the game much. They could just go on the fly. They could it was very naturalistic. That's how they play the game, and they didn't have to think. Not really. And they also got other lobbies, which were like high GM lobbies, or like OWCS. And these lobbies, their instinct wasn't good enough to be able to play into these quality of players, so the instinct didn't work. And also, thinking didn't work too, because if they stopped and thought about the game, even for a split second, they get punished for that, right? So the solution was that in these lobbies that are relatively for again, it depends on the player, but for them it was low GM. In these lobbies that are relatively easy, this is where you have to think, because you've got time to do so in these lobbies. And over time, what will happen is after you think about making better decisions, they'll become more natural to you, and then eventually you'll get to a stage where your instinct will be good enough to play against OWCS players. And for them, in about a month or 2 months, that worked out for them, because it's tempting when you're playing in, again, quick play, plat players, maybe even in ranked, and you're playing against players that aren't very good at the game, and aren't very good at the game. You can get away with certain things, and that's the bad thing.
Yeah.
Is that in these close lobbies, or in lobbies where it's gonna go down to the wire, you end up feeding your brains out, like Death, for example. But yeah.
Yeah, I do see myself perform a lot better in like the Diamond 1 to Masters 4 games compared to like the Masters 5 to like the Masters 2.
Yeah, and
like, there's definitely a difference.
Those Diamond ones are the ones where like you need to think, you need to play disciplined, you need to be killing, you need to be top of the leaderboard every time and have few deaths. That's the important thing, and you can't afford to double slide and feed your brains out and get traded at the last moment. And you didn't mention to me that you thought this game was won, right? I can see why. But there's 4 more deaths here, so we'll see how those pan out.
It's just staggering. I mean, like we just
yeah, I would not be shocked there. Yeah, because that might be the case.
It's very depressing.
Actually, I do realize as well. We also had a time slide by. You had a Cass and a Soldier code as well. We can also quickly go over that because this might just be staggering out the rest of the map, which is not that interesting. So you can give me the.
I guess yeah.
The Cass Soldier code if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's that one? Okay, so this one's a win, but I feel like it's a Reaper Soldier, but I feel like I didn't do anything.
Interesting. Okay.
like, oh crap, how did I get it again? Oh, share. This is Ilios. Yeah, Ilios is one of my weaker maps. I do want to work on it, but also I felt like I just did jack shit. I just didn't do anything. Yeah.
Is there a
You,
specific
you just
point?
had to see it for yourself.
Yeah, is there a point in Helios that's like where you feel like you're especially useless, or
So okay, so as a hit scan player, I love ruins. I absolutely love ruins. It's so fun to play because long sight lines, right?
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
Sojourn
yeah.
Royale. But once I go into well, is it lighthouse? I think it's lighthouse. Yeah. So those two I struggle a little bit, and I actually swap off the Sojourn, and then I go something like Reaper.
Interesting. Okay.
To take more angles, right? To take more close range
Yeah.
angles.
You say you play Soldier as well. Is that in this map as well, or in this round rather?
Yeah. It's gonna be in what's it called? It's gonna be ruins because I was like, I'm not playing Reaper ruins.
Yeah. I think yeah, with Reaper, it's kind of your pathing's really important, and that's actually a good map to go through it because the biggest thing or the biggest counterplay to your character is stopping you from getting to close range to begin with. And in fact, that's what they're primarily gonna do. So we'll see how you path, and if you do match someone on an angle, how you deal with that. There is counterplay to matching someone and getting stopped in your tracks, but we'll see. Holding's fine initially. Okay. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. So, I'll play this, you're probably gonna go sick here, yeah. Usually I would say that it's rather, you shouldn't fight this on an angle. Because Sigma, yeah. Not only do you not have Wraith, Sigma as a character should just beat you in a 1v1. Obviously, regardless of Rock, right? I think he just misses multiple hyperspheres over and over again, and his shield is dog shit. So his Michael's terrible, which is why you end up winning this out. But this is really important about learning to not fight angles on Reaper, or even any flanker in the game, that after you get rocked out here, leave and rotate around the Sigma. Rotate in a way that way he can't reach you. So an example of that would be Wraithing out here, and then TPing from point A to... This wouldn't be a great TP to high ground admittedly, right? But point A to point B, like over here, would be a decent TP. Where now we're playing out of Sig's LOS. Sig can't prevent you by, if you're going to go point B, you just can't. You're too far away, and he's got multiple characters to deal with over here. Your Honor and your Sojourn. That is what outmaneuvering looks like. So, in this case, it's against Sigma. Again, the same thing could be Echo, right? Maybe you're pathing... This would be a worse example, but maybe you're standing here with your Winston, and the Echo sees you, and you're like, oh shit, I can't duel Echo because it's open space, right? So then you don't fight that, you leave, and then you flank around again, right? As an example, that's how you outplay getting prevented or getting or taking duels that aren't in your favor. Like obviously here, the Sig's a bit bad at the game, so you know how to do this. Sure. Fine. And yeah, just misses every shot onto you, and you get the kill. Okay, Wraith is fine, good. The Trace is fine, yeah, fine. TP right side would be good. Nice, good TP. Literally another one I drew out, but yeah. Fine. Sure. Fine. This is okay. My only thing is that you could have potentially actually walked in the enclosed space, like walked in the room when you get here.
Yeah, I could see myself getting lost here. I'm like, oh, like do I go right side or do I go left? Like this is where like I start to like kind of like, oh shit, like,
right?
You know, I'm not playing a ranged hit scan anymore. You know, cast is a little bit easier because I could just like take angles, but
right.
I'm like, oh, like it makes you think a little bit, even though this character is relatively easy to play fundamentally. So
yeah, I think the TP is initially fine. You can't, like, if we can almost do like a process of elimination kind of thing, where like you can't really TP up here. Echo will just burn you. You can stay here. This would be okay. I don't actually mind you staying and then playing in this room. That would be okay. You can also just TP in this room here and then try Mark Tracer. Is also a fine choice. So it doesn't really. I don't think this TP is necessarily bad. Just try and force and outmaneuver the enemy team. Get around them is kind of the key thing. Here would have been fine too. Onto Tracer, that's fine as well. But yeah, we'll see where you end up going. I think you've done your job basically. Like you've gone cap right now. Your Honor's alive because you forced out Tracer a little bit earlier too. So this is all fine. Okay. Sure. Okay. Fine. Sure. Okay. Sure. Ah, we just take too much. So we just this fundamental on Reaper. You just swing at the wrong time. There's nothing crazy about it. You just swing in front of your Winston, and I think your Winston's got no bubble. Yeah, because it broke. So this is nothing that crazy, to be honest. And again, this
should actually, I maybe like gone around them instead?
Yes, right. So like this is the thing, right? Where like again, you can pop bubble here and fight, and you win that because Winston beats Sigma head on, and you've got a bubble to play around. That's fine. You can front the back Sigma here. I'm okay with you doing that. But also, after bubble's broken, don't fight this. And this is what I meant earlier over in that little room. Don't fight the Sig, right? Especially when people are also here as well. Because in theory, you should either get blown up, or even if you don't die here, you're gonna get Wraith Forced out. And it's really counterintuitive because if I say don't fight this, you're playing far away. And if you're playing far away, well, why are you playing far on Reaper? It's kind of counterintuitive to not brawl and play close range. But this is kind of why. Okay. Is that you can get forced out really easily. And again, you should be looking actually to outmaneuver their backline or their Sig as much as you can. Characters that don't want you to touch their backline. He does not want you. In fact, the Sig wants you to be here in a way. He wants to force you out so that he knows that he's safe and his backline's safe. But yeah,
that's a good way of thinking about that. Yeah, like what do they want from you?
Yeah.
Like imagine like in their shoes. Yeah. Okay.
He wants you here essentially, unless he's again your Winston speaking here with bubble. Okay. Not amazing. I do hate this replay bug because that's your Sojourn, but that's their Sigma, so that should be blue, but it's really confusing. And then what? And this now your Sojourn's blue, even though it's really weird.
I think I think was the last game that this runs it.
Yeah, it's a weird replay bug, but yeah, we'll see here. Okay, so down a little bit. Okay, so there's also I mentioned hidden flanking, or like the ability to like on Sojourn, you're farming Rail of Diva, having the timing and having the hidden bit and having the LOS to a team to know to take an angle. It's even more important on flank characters like Genji, Reaper, Tracer, because again you actually need to use your mobility. Echo as well, and this is a good case. Where like here, we see Lucio, we see Tracer, we see Moira, and we see Six. So we know where their backline's playing, right? Where could you maybe go to from here? There's a few options.
Left side.
Left side, yes. So we could walk through here and clear out Tracer as an option. Where else could we go?
I'm still waiting on my TP.
A TP in
so
two.
I would, yeah, just directly TP right behind them.
Yeah, so we could.
It sounds stupid, but I think I literally just do that. I literally just TP right behind them.
You could, yeah, you could. Sure. I would be fine with it if your Winston goes in. So if your Winston jumps in and you can TP like from point A to point B, this would be great. If you want to play a little bit slower, you can go from again that exact same TP from beforehand. This can be fine as well. But those are your three main options. So we'll see what you do. Okay. I think Trace is probably the best one because your TP still on CD, and you like dueling the Tracer anyways in this sort of enclosed space. Okay. Okay. So this is a good TP positionally. That is. I'm not a fan of the timing. Right. When should you be taking the TP?
Probably like when my Winston engages.
Is he engaging right now?
No.
Okay, why do you say that?
Well, I mean, like, he is, but like he didn't he's not full HP. Like he's not at an advantage where like he can support my dive as well. Like he lost all his shields. He's very killable.
Right.
So
I guess
like
another way of phrasing it is it isn't drawing enough attention away right now for you to get a TP behind.
I mean he's like shooting them. I guess it's like decent pressure. Like
so I think
I don't know. Yeah.
I think a way of describing this would be like through a graph. So sometimes I like using this when it comes to like dive in general, like time on here and then power on the y-axis. Your comp on the Winston looks like this essentially, and this big spike is bubble. Now it might not look like that because admittedly the bubble's not great, and he's also low HP too. But that's your signal, that's your visual cue in the game that tells you my Winston's doing something. He's committing to this position, I'm going to use the bubble to either walk forward and ball sig, or because he's grasping right now, TP behind. So when the bubble places down, I would actually TP, because this is your big cooldown spike. And you TP a little bit after but the bubble breaks. Again, it's not a big mistiming, but it's something that's worth noting, because again, you TP when bubble's broken, and when honestly the enemy team should just be able to clear you out right now, because Win's not doing he's doing fuck all right now. And the bubble's been used, and he's playing backwards. So the Six should just be able to clear you out from behind in theory, because it's a bit mistimed. But yeah, and yeah, almost happens there, and you can see how that almost happens, right? Because he rocks you, and he should be rocking your Winston instead. But yeah, slight mistiming there.
So yeah,
It's essentially just after the key visual cues of bubble. Yeah, but yeah, go on.
So I mean, for this situation where like I have to, I should TP when there's bubble because that's his engage tool, right?
Yeah.
But typically, I don't want to say like I'm a one trick because I do play a lot of different characters. Like I play like 4 different DPS characters. But as Sojourn, like the person who I play the most, in this situation, when I see Winston drop bubble, do I also just like look to engage aggressively too, or is that mainly on kind of like characters like Reaper, Tracer, and Git?
Yeah, so like if you're playing Sojourn, your idea is how can I find an angle outside of bubble. So like if I'm this Sojourn, probably just swing wider. That's it really. Okay, maybe slide over here to keep distance. It depends how far that Tracer is. To be fair, like if you can get punished to it. Yeah, Tracer's relatively far away. Like if Tracer's far away, you can probably get with a slide like this and then get a better angle. Is probably what you do in Sojourn. Or again, you can just move to the right side and get a better angle. That's fine.
But for Reaper, it's more like knowing to know when the bubble is gonna go down and then engaging with that. Bubble,
yeah, right? It's okay, your engage timing here that I've got a main thing with. Because the TP is good. Like you get good damage into Sig from behind, right? Like this is not an issue with your positioning in TP. Like you get good damage, right? Timing, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Yeah, because they're getting shredded out both sides. Okay, nice, fine. Doing some dice. Okay, you have to give it a flip. Fine. Sure. Okay, we'll see here. Okay. Okay. Sure. Fine.
I don't know where she went.
You can force point here.
See, this
is fine. Like this, you're zoning Lucio, and you're zoning both the supports. Like this is more than fine. Like I don't really mind you doing this.
Okay.
I don't think, again, the reason being is that you can't like you can front to back the Sigma here, but it's dangerous to do so. And when it's a clear angle that you can force out, like you have relieved pressure off your armor because you forced up more of it. But this is fine. Only thing I could say is maybe it's worth picking up the mini and going point, or just going point straight and then forcing people to come back as a result. Only thing I can say there is forcing point. But barring that, Moira's low, you forcing Lucio to come at you. Force fade, good. Okay, that rate is whoa. So how come you rate this?
I thought the Lucio was going for me.
Yeah.
Because they drop beat. I'm like, okay, they clearly are gonna play aggressive here. That's my rating.
Yeah, so I say this all the time with blocking on characters like Doom. You need to look visually the aggro that you're taking. Same thing with Wraith, actually. The same thing applies on Wraith. Deflected applies to Mei Cryo. Look at the visual aggro you are taking, because you need to know who is looking at you, and as a result, how much aggro am I taking based on who's looking at me. Because the Lucio could be beating right now, and sure, he could be beating into your team, but that's into your team, not into you, right? So you don't care about that aggro. Again, visual aggro, all that really means is who is looking at me. Again, you can tell by the eyes and body language. Are their eyes turned towards you? Are they shooting at you? Are they looking at you? It's kind of what visual aggro means. And right now, no one's doing that. But yeah. Like, a bit of a waste there, sadly. And yeah, had we kept Wraith, I don't think you could have like dual traits. Tracer can avoid you, but you could absolutely TP past the Tracer and get behind her and try and look for an angle behind. Maybe get onto Echo, that could be fine. Or TP onto the mini, get the mini, dual Tracer, go into Echo, that could be fine. In other words, there's ways about maneuvering with TP in and playing the enclosed spaces that allow you to dual Tracer and Echo and get a better angle. Because here, we're not doing much. Okay. Just I was gonna say good melee Sigma there, but I'm being nitpicky with micro. Okay, so again, Wraither again. Let's see if that's reasonable. So they beat, and again, it's like, I don't think we need to rate this. I think we can just play back and play slow, force out Tracer, and then TP above the Sigma, you know, and outmaneuver him. You're beating from the queue of... So you're wraithing because of the beat, right? You're not wraithing because of the aggro you're taking. That's the difference. Yeah, Blossom's okay. Just let into a fight so there's no cooldowns. Don't mind the Blossom now. Nice. Force point. Good. Wraith is fine. Good. That's a good Wraith, right? Like, you're actually taking aggro from Lucio Tracer. That's a good Wraith. Fine. Sure, just walking down. You can TP if you get booped into the little well. Okay. Yeah, look at that Lucio is interesting. Sure. Fine. Fine. Sure. Yeah, no, nothing crazy there. Okay. We'll do a quick summary, and I'll use this wall here. Because we did talk about a lot of concepts. I think I'm gonna try and make this more Soj specific. I guess the first thing is probably about when to take an angle, or rather, like, when is it okay to... Is it okay to leave my front line?
Yeah, because that was something I really struggled on when I was plat. I also stuck plat 5 seasons. I think this was like last year, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I was going on main like all the time, and then like I was like, okay, I gotta take more angles because this is what people do, and I did that, and I started feeding because like my angles were too greedy, and then now it's just a combination of like I go frontline, but then sometimes I'm scared to take an angle. So
Yeah.
that's where the habit comes from. I don't know if you can see. It's like my passive play style just kind of comes into play.
Yeah, I'm not too shook for that, to be honest. I think again the main things are timing. So again, if you're going on a long, if you're going to have to go on a long flank, do that early because it's gonna be long. And of course, if it's early into a fight, no one's engaging. If no one's engaging, the rest of your team should be safe. Is the idea behind that. Second one is LOS. So try and take angles where you can still see your front line. Or the rest of your team, basically. So again, have I got stat banana? Maybe I have it. I have not got stat banana available to me. But that Blizzard example again, where you're still on an off angle, but you can still see the rest of your team. So if they rush or they take a 5v3 or a 5v4, you're fine and your team's fine because you can still get value and you're not completely useless. And the last one is also hidden. Or being able to be hidden. That makes you even more dangerous. And that should be fine. Honestly, the D.Va didn't kill you that often because you are basing the D.Va quite well. By playing distance, obviously. In fact, that's probably going to be the second thing, maybe. Which is distance and pushing slowly. So, distance refers to, again, playing positions such that it's such that you want to be dove. If you're playing an angle, so for example, I'm referring to like the back high grounds on the latter half of Esperanza. Very important to do.
Oh yeah, where the Ana was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was getting confused. I was like,
keeping that distance versus again dive, and to prevent things like Reaper or flankers. I was gonna say. Oh yeah, like if you're playing a position and you ask yourself, do I want to be dove here? And the answer to that question is no. You're probably not in a safe position. And that probably signals that you probably need to be playing somewhere else. So it's very easy if you want to, again, if you're playing into dive like Diva, Reaper, Genji, Tracer, Lucio, Kiri, that kind of thing. That's a good question to ask yourself. Do I want to be dove? As like a litmus test of how aggressive you're playing. Second thing, or linking onto that, the 5v4 idea about, again, or 4v3, like when you like double slid on Soj and died. Again, after you get a kill, look around, or after you get a kill, don't get or refrain or restrain yourself from being excited. In fact, you should be more scared of losing a fight after you get a kill, because that's when they want to get a trade, and that's if you're sliding into them, you're very tradable. So push slowly is why I say often, or push without risk.
So for that situation, is it okay just to take like a couple seconds just to
Yeah,
think
yeah,
and
that's
like recoup?
yeah.
So you know the concept of like uptime is I shouldn't be always doing uptime because I should have maybe just because like I always hear like you should always have uptime especially on DPS, but lately I've been taking like it more slow. I just like in quick play I would just practice this. I would like after I get a kill I would take like maybe 2 or 3 seconds to think about where they are instead of
mm.
like just shooting. Is that fine or
That's I mean, when you go up the ranks, you'll need less time, but it's a fine thing to practice and start doing now. So, for example,
okay?
that play slow thing. So what teams also do is stabilize. A stabilize call is sometimes what's called, and what stabilize means is to literally take a few seconds to get cooldowns back, get HP back, and then push afterwards. That's what stabilize means. So it's more important on tanks than it is DPS because you're probably gonna need to regain back HP on tank, and you're probably gonna need to get back cooldowns on tank to push forward. So like Queen Shout, Malga E, Stomp, Spear Spin, Fortify, Ram Form. You're probably gonna need to use those cooldowns. I can give you an example actually. A team that my friend's on. This is a really bad example. God. But like we should have stabilized, and this is a classic example. Shinzu
It's like a pro
deaths.
level game.
This is like it's like Face It open, so it's like low GM, mid GM.
Oh,
It's like roughly here. Where was it? Was it this death? I don't think it was. No, it was not. Or was it this one? Nope, that's that point. This one, nope. That one. Yes, it was. Okay. So this is a classic example where like a Bastion kills one. Okay, we get a pit. Okay, and we're on a 5v4 right now. So obviously you'd expect to push, but look at the cooldowns on my Ram. Right, no CDs at all, and he's low HP. He's half HP, right? So this would be a good time for someone to call stabilize. As a result, because he doesn't stabilize, he dies. So he pushes forward here, and that's immediately right.
And in the heat of the moment, like you get excited because
exactly,
you got a kill.
exactly.
I understand.
And had he just waited 2 seconds to get form, this push would have been completely fine because you're basically again you can just push and block and ram and you're fine. So that's a good example of it. So yeah, you're playing again. I say it's mostly a thing on tank again than it is on DPS. But yeah, if you're playing Soj and your team needs to stabilize and take a chill pill for 2 seconds, yeah, that's more than fine. In fact, it's more than fine. It's not even more than fine. It's what you should do. But yeah. Third thing, I think this is micro at this point. Or like I can make it more Reaper specific actually. I think honestly your micro and so just is okay. Like I there wasn't bad in any terrible slides. Your rails were a little bit impatient, like at some lazy rails at the beginning, but they kind of petered out later on. Your DSs were fine too. You were DSing corners, DSing after you get rails to get kills potentially. DSs were fine. Yeah, I don't think anything insane in your Soch micro that needs to be pointed out.
I mean, my aim always can be better. I feel like that's just with everything.
Yeah,
everyone,
that's
right? No
on anything, any character, right? I think on Reaper it's not fighting. On Reaper and learning to outmaneuver. Yeah, outmaneuver on the character, as well as also what was I gonna say? Yeah, paying attention to certain cues in the game, or like also like tank CDs. So like on Reaper, that was again the bubble.
Yep.
Earlier in the first fight on the very first fight on Soj, it was the Diva boosters to pay attention about how far you can swing and how aggressive you can play. And generally when you're playing Sojourn into dive, like again, the key cooldowns to pay attention to about when you can push up. So again, this links back into the first point about when to play aggressive, or when is it okay to take an angle. Is when enemy CDs are or have been used. So if their Winston jumps out and has used bubble, you can probably push and Surge. If their Reaper's used Wraith Form and is forced to leave, you can probably push and Surge. If their Tracer uses Re, you can probably push and Surge. Those are key cooldowns you can look to, again, use in the game to identify, okay, I should probably push because I've got an advantage and they can't really punish me because they've used their cooldowns. But yeah, those are some important CDs to pay attention to. I guess any questions or queries, generally, or about those 3 points, or yeah.
What was the second, like the one right after not fighting as Reaper? Like, what does that say? The
Oh yeah, tank CDs, and Winston
no,
bubble.
the one above that.
Our
The one
maneuver.
above that.
That's terrible writing. Yeah.
Oh, like so just TPing.
Yeah,
like,
TPing around,
the
right?
timing of
Yeah.
TP.
Like, again, the example there
Okay.
would be like the Sig, but you just got bursted down
Yeah.
immediately. But yeah. Anything else?
Okay. Can I screenshot those 3 points?
Yeah, you can. I mean, I've recorded the session too, so you can watch it back at your spare pace.
Oh.
So
Yeah. Just if you don't mind, I just want
yeah, that's fine.
to take screenshots
Yeah,
of
yeah.
just the 3. Oh crap! Just literally freezes my screen. Do you have point 1 up or no? Did you?
I think I can rewind it
like
maybe.
gone?
Yeah, I
I should
can't
have said
I can't rewind it so far. But it's basically just like knots. Or like when is it okay to take an angle, and again the timing of it. So don't be late. Again, being hidden on the way, so more dangerous. And again, having LOS, so you can still contribute to your team while you're taking an angle, so you're not completely useless out of the fight. But yeah. Anything else?
Okay. No, I mean, I really appreciate your time, and I just my goal is to hit like low GM. I mean, I don't know how possible it is with like the circumstances of how I'm playing right now, but I don't know. That's my goal because I did hit Masters like I think like a couple weeks ago. So
yeah, I think
it is a little bit of a
it should be pretty doable. I think yeah, it depends on, again, if you're able to have a consistent level of play, but I think over time you can definitely get like your mechanics aren't holding you back, is what I can say. At least from what I've seen predominantly. But yeah.
Yeah, I do like